Welcome back to the Two Money Super 1 British Karting Championships. Junior X30 up next. Young man on fire this weekend. I'm probably about to put the kibosh on his weekend by interviewing him, Alex Lloyd. 2 wins in the heats, Alex. You're on fire at the moment this weekend. This is a track you like, I think.
Well, we've not done much testing here. We've rocked up, we're really fast, got the results, so far it's going quite well.
Okay, be interested to see how you go in the final. Talk to me a little bit about what's going on in Europe with you, because you're out racing in Europe as well. How does it differ, European racing, to racing at this level, British Karting Championships?
Well, it's just quite, I wouldn't say easier, but it's not as tough racing over there because it's not as rough, but the tracks are just a lot longer and windier, and it's quite hard, the tracks, but I'm getting on okay over there.
So the competition greater here, if you like, and is that because of the aggression of the British drivers? You know you've got to be aggressive to win at this level.
Yeah, I think all the British drivers are just very aggressive, and they like a hack and everything, where over in Europe it's a bit more calm.
Okay, and where do we go from here then this season? You can't win a championship now, so just been speaking earlier to Theo Makuris, he was basically saying about the championship, I'm just going for wins. Is that your mindset now?
Just may as well, nothing else to do, because you can't really get anywhere in the championship, so just go for the wins really. Okay,
well hopefully you have a good pre-final and we see you on pole for this final that's about to come up.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you.
2 wins in a second so far for Alex Lloyd, but Lewis Thompson has the pole for his victory in the previous final. McQueen and Gilbert on the second row from Casper Stevenson and Clayton Ravenscroft. Reed, Behrman, King and Radican in the top 10. Plenty for them to shoot for. Watch a few drivers making their way forward. Tom Edgar definitely wanting to charge forward, as of course is Axel Laflamme, and of course Luke Whitehead, again caught out by other drivers' misdemeanors in final 1. Watch him surge his way through as the drivers charge for Park Bend and into Cafe. A great battle as the drivers come through. Is everybody going to get through cleanly? Only just, but that was calling it a little bit fine. So Lewis Thompson in the lead of the race here from Alex Lloyd in second position as they go through Stratford Hairpin. The championship battle is between the 2 teammates at KR Sport, of course. Lewis Gilbert versus Clayton Ravenscroft, and they are 4th and 5th at the moment.
Yeah, and they come back through the chicane. Alex Lloyd never seems to have a lot of luck at Super 1. He's in second place at the moment. Interviewed him earlier after he'd won both heats. Pre-finally finished second. That's okay. This is the final that determines where the trophies are, which is why this is the final and the race that we film during the weekend. Now, usually when I interviewed Alex Lloyd, it can be a bit of a disaster for him, but let's hope he doesn't have the interview curse this weekend. Follow us on Facebook, by the way, guys, at facebook.com Super1 Series.
Lloyd goes for the lead. Well, it certainly started in the best way possible. Gilbert's going to use that opportunity to charge through as well and get himself up into second position. So, wait a minute. No, that's Ravenscroft. Ravenscroft has got past his teammate Gilbert and McQueen and Lewis Thompson. That is incredible. Ravenscroft is right on the back of Alex Lloyd battling for the lead. How does he do it? Yeah. Every single time. Now, there's been an off at the hairpin. You can see there somebody's walking away. Now, who is that? I think that is Alex Lay, the leading rookie going into this weekend. So Alex Lay, unfortunately, has been caught out and is out of the race at Wilkins on the first lap. We didn't see what happened to him, sadly, but Alex Lay, unfortunately, has to walk home early. But what a battle this is, as up the inside now comes Lewis Thompson, charging his way past Lloyd and then past Ravenscroft, who momentarily takes the lead, but it's Lewis Thompson, and that is Shane White. That is a disaster for Shane, who's having a miserable season, and that is not where he wanted to end his race. So Lewis Thompson back in front, stationary yellows at Wilkins, so that is where he's going to have parked his car. Either that or that's still for Alex Lay's clean-up job. But Lewis Thompson leads from Ravenscroft and Alex Lloyd, with Caden McQueen in there in 4th position ahead of Lewis Gilbert. To talk about what you were mentioning before, though, about Alex Lloyd, he seems to start his weekends in magnificent fashion. He's really, really good at coming straight out of the blocks and winning going away. It's maintaining that over the course of the weekend that always seems to be a bit of a struggle. You can see him there now down in 4th position, actually, because moving his way through. I think, who's that that's come through into 3rd position? I think that is the 42 of Caden McQueen, with Casper Stevenson battling away with Lewis Gilbert now. Stevenson having a good weekend, actually. Casper Stevenson right up at the sharp end, battling away away with the man who is second in the championship.
Gilbert started this race as the championship leader, but it's Ravenscroft that has a championship lead now in second place on 8.73 is at the moment. If he makes another place up, takes a lead, he'll go to 8.75. Gilbert's just made a point back. Gilbert's just moved back into fifth, was sixth on that lap. So it's Thompson, Ravenscroft, they come towards us. McQueen in third, Lloyd fourth, then Gilbert, Stevenson,
Gilbert
Rattick
up
and
the
Behrman.
inside. Gilbert's made the move on Lloyd. Oh, and that's let Lloyd lose 3 places. Yet again, Alex Lloyd, for whatever reason, in final 2, he just never seems to have the same luck as he does in the earlier races.
The interview curse is alive.
Stop interviewing him.
And kicking.
Stop interviewing him, Alex. It's not helping him at all. Publicity, okay, but...
Actually, I will be fair. I was calling him down off the bank, and as soon as he saw me calling him down, his head went down as if to say,
no, not again.
Don't interview me now.
Poor Alex. I mean, we shouldn't laugh about it because it genuinely, you could snap his car in half and it would have bad luck written through it like Blackpool Rock. But what a shame again for Alex Lloyd. Hopefully he can find his way back. He's having to defend actually from Nelson King, who's come through into 7th position now. So King is through. The men who were recipients of that running wide, Casper Stevenson and Josh Rattigan, who's come up. Now, to be fair, Rattigan is another man who has no end of bad luck. This time out, it looks as though Rattigan is going to get a decent finish from it. He's there in 6th position at the moment. If he can just keep up this sort of form, he's come back very similar to Alex Lloyd, actually. He's come off the back of a very nasty injury that he picked up about 18 months ago, and now he is getting himself back up to speed as Gilbert dives for 3rd position. Up on the inside of Caden McQueen, and he's there now. That puts him just 2 behind Ravenscroft in the no, wait a minute. Gilbert got through. Would they be dead level now in the points tally? Because Gilbert's made up two more points. They'll be dead level.
They will, yeah, I think you're right. Somebody made a place up there going up through Stratford Hairpin as well. So Ravenscroft there in 2nd place. He won't be too worried about going for the lead at the moment, but he'll want that lead with 3 or 4 laps to go because, again, he will know better than most people, points win prizes, and just a couple of points difference that will make going from 2nd to 1st, but that can be the difference in the championship. In a championship fight, that is this close, and it is literally, guys, tied. Top left of your screen. Those points on the Tag Heuer system, by the way, update live as the drivers go through the line at the end of each lap. It's an absolutely brilliant system we have here at Super 1 on the timing, and at the last round, don't forget, those points will update live and take into account the drop score, the worst drop score of the driver. It is a brilliant system.
I'm not biased about many things, but the Tag Heuer timing system in Super 1 is just about the best thing since sliced bread. I absolutely love it. It makes my job 10 times easier when you're in the midst of a race. Lewis Thompson leading the way. Ravenscroft 2nd from Gilbert. 3rd in 4th position is McQueen, then it's Rattigan, King, Stevenson, Alex Lloyd. Luke Whitehead is up to 9th, by the way. He's made up 10 places. This is how good the quality we get from Luke Whitehead. He's had a miserable run of results, but in terms of his pace here, he's been one of the fastest drivers out there, and he's had to play most of this weekend. It's been about fighting back to the front end of the field, as that is Sam Heading battling away with Tom Edgar, the Northern Irishman. No relation, by the way, to Johnny or Jessica. It's just a namesake, but the Northern Irish contingent there. Tom Edgar trying to move his way forward. He's actually battling away with another man who's trying to make up ground after a victory was taken off him, Reggie Dewey, who basically got given a penalty of a lap after an incident earlier on, and he had won one of the races earlier on in the weekend. So Reggie Dewey, unfortunately, his weekend completely compromised by that. On the Saturday, he won a heat, and unfortunately was given a 1-lap penalty. So his entire weekend has basically been a comeback drive since then. Well, up the inside, that's Alex Lloyd making a place. So Alex Lloyd back up the inside of, is that Luke Whitehead? Surely not. That is Luke Whitehead, right up there in the upper echelons of this race now. Well, if anybody ever doubted how good Luke Whitehead is as a pure driver, you really can't doubt it anymore. That's why he was selected by Arden as one of the young racing drivers in their academy. They only pick talent that's pure and that's unshakable and unquestionable. They've got so many brilliant drivers in their elite from the Super 1 paddock this year, and I tell you what, that boy, Luke Whitehead, is definitely going to be one of the stars of British motorsport. Whether that's Formula 1, IndyCar, Le Mans, doesn't really matter at this point. You can see that quality. He's definitely got what it takes to make it to the big games.
And talking of drivers that have made up 10 places, as in the case of Luke Whitehead, started P19 in 9th. We've also got Reggie Dewey started P25 in 15th.
Yep.
And further back, Alessandro Serenetti, who lost his English Championship, his E-plate last weekend at the Super1. He started plumb last, P30. He's up to 20th. He's made up 10 as well. So 3 drivers in the field so far made up 10 places.
Yeah, I caught him just before the start of the race, actually, Alessandro Serenetti, and he looked at me with a massive grin on his face and said, I've had a horrible, horrible, horrible weekend. At least he's still smiling about it, but Serenetti has been trying to fight his way back through for the entirety of this weekend thus far, as too actually has the O-plate, Axel Laflamme. You could just about see him at the bottom of the timing screen there, 25th position. He's had a nightmare weekend himself, and definitely doesn't seem to have any pace at all here this weekend.
As has Dragon Pinsent, Jake.
Very
Pinsent
dramatically.
was he second in the championship? He's in 19th place. He started P20, so you'd expect him to be moving forward from there after virtually 8 3/4 minutes in this race, but he's only made up 1 place.
He's another driver who's had no luck at all as Radican goes for 3rd position on Caden McQueen, and he's made it. So Josh Radican through into 3rd position. Now, memory serves me correctly, his run of luck has been so poor that I don't think he's finished on the podium in a final this year, as Lloyd tries to go, well, who was that that dived up the inside? That was the 95 of Nelson King, tried to dive up the inside of Alex Lloyd. Lloyd was not letting that one happen easily, so he shuts the door. He's got every right to do so, of course.
3 points the championship lead for Ravenscroft in second. He'll want to turn that into 5. Gilbert is in 5th place. He can still come back and perhaps tie the lead going forward. This championship is going all the way to the line.
Here we go.
That's Ravenscroft for the lead, and he will increase his points when he goes through the line next time. You'll see those points top left go from 873 to 875 for the new championship leader.
Do you know what? Clayton Ravenscroft in the last 18 months has suddenly become unstoppable in the world of British and European karting. As McQueen up the inside. Gilbert's going to go with him. Can Gilbert? No, he has to slot back into 5th position behind Ratican. So difficulties there for Gilbert, and Alex Lloyd has been working hard. He's got himself back in a 6th position again, so he's going to be a factor in these last stages as well. Casper Stevenson there in 7th from Nelson King. 9th is now Tyler Reid in front of Will Ellswood with Oliver Gray, Luke Whitehead, then Jamie Mead, who's leading the club championship here as well at Shenington. You can always tell the club champions, they are not far from the top 10, but it's so hard to break into the top 10 of Super 1, even if you're doing this as the circuit championship leader, as it was. Coming in at Super 1 and being at the front end is so hard, even if you've got that local knowledge of racing here week in, week out, as Gilbert tries to go right round the outside of Radican, gets up on the curbs. Radican's going to hold on to 3rd position, surely, and that's beautifully defended, but that was close, and Lloyd is now going to be passed into the Bruno chicane by Casper Stevenson. Did Stevenson get through? No, he did not. Alex Lloyd shut that door firmly. Great racing here in Junior X30. It's been absolutely amazing. I was going to say about Ravenscroft, he is going absolutely all guns blazing as Reggie Dewey tries to dive up the inside of Luke Whitehead. But in British and European karting, Ravenscroft was a contender last year. He was all right. He was pretty quick. He could pick up a win here or there. Good at getting into the top 3. This year, I haven't got a clue how he is as strong as he is. He's had an amazing winter, and all of a sudden, he's back in it. Did you just see Luke Whitehead there, right round the outside of Reggie Dewey, into the braking zone for Stratford, and now gets onto the back of Tyler Reid. Luke Whitehead pulled that move from thin air.
Fantastic
Goodness
move.
me.
Great moves all the way through the field at this level. You've got to be aggressive. Alex Lloyd mentioned it earlier. He was saying out in Europe, it's easier out in Europe to race there because the drivers are just not as aggressive. The British drivers are out there, obviously. They love a hack, as he describes it. I'm not sure. I'm up with the kids, whatever that means. But he was saying that, yeah, the British drivers, we love a hack. Out in Europe, it's a little bit softer.
Oh, Ravenscroft's having to defend Thompson at the moment as they battle for the victory on this, which I'm fairly sure is the last lap. If not, it is the penultimate lap. I'm not sure how much time there was when they came through. Penultimate lap. So Thompson and Ravenscroft are now fighting for the victory yet again. Ravenscroft has fought himself into a position. It seems to be he has the anti-Alex Lloyd syndrome. Whenever the cameras come on, Lloyd seems to lose his luck. Whenever the cameras come out, Ravenscroft seems to hit a sweet spot. Meanwhile, the battle for 3rd is going to be very close between these guys as Radican finds the smallest gap in history up the inside of Caden McQueen. Has he made that stick? Is he through to third? We'll have to look back and see who's there in third position. Thompson trying to come right round the outside of Ravenscroft. Now tucked back into the inside of the hairpin. Ravenscroft has a move across to stop Thompson coming through. He keeps it there on the inside. Ravenscroft dives for the inside of Bruno Chicane to hold the place.
Beautiful.
He's done that.
Great
Beautifully
driving.
done.
Great
Third
driving
is
by
McQueen.
both of them.
Third is McQueen. And look, they're still battling side by side, but Thompson has to hang back. I think that's not going to happen. Ravenscroft glued to that inside line. Great racing from both of them. They really stood up and went for it. Great race from Thompson in second, but Ravenscroft has done it. Ravenscroft wins again in Super 1 at Shenington this time. McQueen is third from Radican, Gilbert, Lloyd, Stevenson, King, Dewey, Reed, Whitehead, Ellswood, Bim and Gray, and it really is as close as that at the flag. Ravenscroft takes the victory from Thompson and McQueen. Radican is fourth from Gilbert, Lloyd is sixth from Stevenson, King, Dewey and Tyler Reed, rounding out a brilliant top 10 fight. Clayton, I don't think anybody could have predicted that you would take the victory in the second final after the way the race weekend started. It was miserable when you couldn't get out the blocks of the pits, but the way you fought back, this is just the way your season is going.
Yeah, no, we were really struggling with the car. The whole weekend was just a bit of a struggle. In practice, we showed great pace, and then we just started getting slower and slower and slower. We changed the car in the final, and it just was loads better, and I just pushed away with Lewis to then fight at the end for the win.
And a great battle between you and Lewis Thompson throughout. He really made you work for it.
Yeah, it was really good. The whole plan was just to find someone and push them away. Since the ear toe's been great, it has been a great advantage throughout the whole weekend. And yeah, it was just really good to push away with him and have an amazing battle on the last couple laps. So.
You seem to wait for these moments until the television cameras come out. Is there something about being on TV that you seem to gel with?
Yeah, I mean, it just all comes together, I guess, at the end of the weekend. Maybe a bit late, but it's always great to collect the points at the end of the weekend.
The Ravenscroft versus Gilbert battle continues. 5 points between them. Dragon Pinson slipping into the clutches of Lewis Thompson, with Luke Whitehead still pretty much in contention. Senior X30 is up next.